Hi guys, so I'm back with a spring tutorial. It's been a while since I've filmed a video. Been having a couple issues with filming, lighting, my editing program, and now I'm finally gearing up to do more videos because I'm changing my setup. But hopefully you guys will enjoy the lighting a little bit better, my newer camera as well. So I'm just going to share with you some of the products that I'm going to use in the tutorial today. The newest thing I got is the Walking the Red Carpet palette, and this is by Wet n Wild. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. I found this in its own little display, so if you can't find this in the Wet n Wild section, check for like an aisle cap. But these are some gorgeous colors. And there's another palette that they put out in the same collection. It looks a lot like the Petal Pusher, but it's more matte. So I'm thinking I might go back and get that one too. But I used that. I also used a couple oldies but goodies. The Princess Bronzer by Wet n Wild as well. I used some Rimmel London. I used the Stay Matte Powder, the Concealer and Highlighter, the Match Perfection. What else did I use? I used the Rimmel Lash Accelerator, Covergirl Queen All Day Flawless, which is the same thing as the Covergirl Outlast. So I used a ton of drugstore stuff. I did use a couple of high-end things, like my Luminizer by Sephora, and it has like a goldish shimmer to it, but you can dupe that for the NYX Illuminator in Ritualistic, and it has just about the same finish, but this one is a little more white and a little more opaque, so you have to use a light hand or make sure that you blend it really, really well. But that's how that looks. The blush that I used for this look is by MAC, but you could use just about any peach blush. Wet n Wild also makes a blush in Pearlescent Pink, and that would probably be a great match. But this is the one that I chose for today. It's Gingerly. And I also used a CoverGirl Jumbo Gloss Balm chubby stick thing. I was intrigued when I saw on Tiffany D's video that she really, really enjoyed these and that they were moisturizing, because most of these things are pretty drying and they're usually a stain as well. But I've been enjoying this little thing, and I don't have the name on the wrapper anymore, so I'm going to have to look it up, but I'm going to have all that information, all the products that I use listed in the description bar below. So I'm just going to jump right into the tutorial. If you guys like to see how I create this look, just keep watching. So I've already primed my eye with the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and now I'm going to go in with the eyelid eyeshadow. It's going to be this one right here. It doesn't have very much color, but we're going to use this as not necessarily our blending shade, but a shade to kind of help control the color. So I'm going to take this on an E40, and I'm just going to blend that into my crease. Now the color we're about to put down is very, very strong, so we're going to need that color to kind of control how much pigment is going to go outside of the crease. So now I'm going to take this definer shade, and it has like a burnt reddish tint to it, and we're going to use that to our advantage because there aren't really any good blending colors in this palette. So I'm going to take that on an E47, and I'm just going to start patting it onto my lid. And now I'm going to start sweeping the color into my crease. So now we're going to take this crease color, and it's a little more of a coppery gold. So I'm going to take that on a flat shader brush, and then I'm going to spray it with some setting spray. I'm not using any fancy setting sprays. This one is actually by NYX. I don't really like this spray in particular, but it's good for using with eyeshadows. So I'm just going to pat that on my lid. And you're not going to take this into your crease. I'm going to take that same E47 brush that we use for our definer shade and then pick up a little bit more of that definer, and I'm just going to put that on the outer V of our eyes. And then go ahead and blend it out with the same blending brush. Now we're going to take the same shader brush and I'm going to dip it into this gold eyelid color. And that one is a little more chunky, it's more like a pressed pigment. So we're going to definitely need to spray that one. Now this color we're just going to concentrate on the inner corner to about 1/3 of the way in the lid. For our brow highlight, we're going to take this white brow bone color, and it does have some shimmer. I'm not a fan of shimmer under the brows, but this is the only decent brow highlight that's in this palette, so I'm just going to use that for today. I'm putting this on an Urban Decay brush. I've been using this a lot for my brow highlight, but any brush, even like a concealer brush, would work really well for laying down the highlight. And you just fan it back and forth. And then take it in a little bit. So for my eyeliner, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Line Stiletto. And this is in Blackest Black. And I'm just going to do a regular cat eye, no wing. I'm going to be a little bit thicker on the outer corner. So for our lashes, first I'm going to go in with this L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black Mascara, and I'm just going to put one coat of that. Not a super thick coat. I'm going to let this mascara dry just a little bit, not too much. I still want it to be a little tacky. And then I'm going to go in and add this Rimmel Lash Accelerator. Okay, I'm priming my face with this Lorac Porefection primer. This is oil-free, paraben-free, fragrance-free, even though it kind of smells like cherry cough syrup. I'm just going to put that all over my face. I'm going to put a little extra on my forehead. Now I'm going to take the Covergirl Queen's All Day Flawless Foundation. This is the same thing as the Covergirl Outlast. This is just a different name because it's the Queen's collection. So I'm just going to take some of this on my fingers and spread it around. I'm just going to spread this around with my Sigma round kabuki brush. This is the F82. And I'm just going to buff that in. Now I'm just going to take my MAC Studio Finish concealer and just use my finger to cover up my blemishes. And I also shape out my eyebrows. Now I'm going to take this Rimmel London Match Perfection concealer, and I use this to highlight. And I'm just going to put that on the tops of my cheeks, and then down the center of my nose, right above my cupid's bow, and a little bit on my chin. And I use this same foundation brush to blend it out. I just pat it in instead of brushing it. Now I'm just going to take my Rimmel Stay Matte powder and I'm going to set everything. And then I'm going to take my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer, and this is in medium. I'm just going to put that right under my eyes. Now you can blend this out with your fingers or you can use a brush. This brush is from BH Cosmetics. This is a pointed foundation brush. It's pretty similar to the Sigma pointed foundation brush. So for my contour, I'm going to take this Wet n Wild Princess Bronzer. This is something I use frequently. This is probably my fourth one. A really, really great bronzer. It has a little bit of sheen to it, but it's nothing you should be afraid of. It's not like a shimmer. I'm just going to pinch my brush and take a little bit and contour my nose. So for blush, I'm going to use this MAC Sheertone in Gingerly. And it's a very, very light blush, but it shows up very, very pigmented on the cheeks. So I'm just going to build that up. For my highlight, I'm going to use this Sephora Illuminator. This is the Micro Smooth in Stardust, and it looks like this. So for my lower waterline, I'm going to put this Rimmel Scandalized Waterproof Liner, and this is in Nude. I'm just going to put that on my lower waterline. Now I'm going to go back to my Walking the Red Carpet palette, and I'm going to grab this definer shade right here and put that onto, this is an E21. It's just a little smudger brush, and I'm just going to smudge right below the lashes. I'm going to go with my Rimmel Lash Accelerator on the bottom lashes. There's no need for 2 coats of mascara on the bottom lashes, but if that's your thing, go for it. For my brows, I'm going to use this Maybelline Define Brow, and this is in light brown. I'm just going to comb through my brows, comb them in place, and then fill them in starting from the tail. And as I move inward, I use less and less pressure. The brow gel that I've been loving lately is the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. And this stuff is like hairspray for your brows. It definitely keeps all the hairs put. So if you have eyebrows with long hair or with thick hair, this is definitely something that you would enjoy. For my lips, I'm going to use this Covergirl Jumbo Gloss Balm, and this is the Lip Perfection. I'm not sure what the shade is because it was on the packaging that I had to rip off to get to the product. This is number 216, but I'll leave the name in the description bar. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below. I'm also going to have all of the details for the products that I use in the description box. And I'm also going to have links to my Instagram and my blog where I'm going to have swatches of the palette. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to rate and subscribe. See you guys in the next video.